hit English. Have you played the Stanley Parable before? And that's what we're playing today. Um, it just dropped on PlayStation today, actually, or maybe yesterday. I'm not too sure, but this is the right time to just stream it. So, if you're not too familiar with the Stanley Parable, it is a game that is well known throughout PC. I've been actually wanting to play this for quite some time. It's like probably ever since I saw it on YouTube, like a long time ago. I think of like certain YouTubers, yeah, they play this game and I love to enjoy their reactions to it. But here we are now. We're about to react to this game, and I bet I do remember there's like certain endings to this game, but we're all gonna enjoy that together right now, so to speak. So let's go. Let's get right into it. Have you played the playable before? No. Please adjust the slider until the computer is very. See the yeah. While we're controller and I'm standing up right now. Please enter the time, current time. Okay, they're gonna make me have. This is where West Coast. I'm gonna have to enter it through. It's currently 3:53. So let's just go with that. Accessibility could be accessed from the main menu. Here we go. We're just gonna keep everything the same. I don't know what the Ultra Deluxe is. It might be the Deluxe Edition, whatever that means. But I'm pretty sure that's just the part of the name on it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So that's the standard version of the game. This is where we're gonna play off with telling what the game telling us what to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It's like the show My Name is Earl. What was this? Oh, I thought there was somebody walking by. Sheep! What's up, buddy? Welcome to the stream, brother. A sheep has run past the meadows.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So we're gonna go with the standard edition. We're just gonna follow what the game is telling us, and then We're gonna do the other endings. How's it going, sheep?
Yet there was not a single
Good.
person here either.
Tip
Feeling
for
a
not getting
wave of
fired.
disbelief, Stanley decided to
Do
go up to his
unbelievably.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve the dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Resent coworkers for not supporting you there. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. You good, going good. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. Uh, had a little nappy poo earlier. Everyone is unique. You most of all. See, all of this shit is too like accurately good in this game. Slides, charts, charts, slides. Like if you work at any sort of place, like it doesn't matter what position you're in, you're gonna get like even if it's not like retail,
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
working with people is like basically working with customers. You're literally working with customers. Customer service always gets
Stepping
managed
into his
in
manager's
a
office,
workplace.
Stanley was once again
I work at a
stunned to
warehouse
discover
job
not an
and
indication of any
I gotta
human
treat
life.
with everybody with respect
Shocked,
and
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind
you
the
work at a
boss's
chicken
desk
processor plant, no
guarded the
customers for
terrible
me.
truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Extra secret pin.
2845.
2845.
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Good internet. 2845. Fuck.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code.
I like when I
By
hit
sheer
X,
luck. Amazing.
it sounds like I'm
He
pressing a
stepped into the
keyboard.
newly opened passageway.
When you get busy at work, get your first trophy. This is what Ben would sound like on the desk job when he's did all of his work and now he's about to do his own homework. And this is all you hear in the background. Basically. Alright, press the button. Gotta run, breaks over.
Descending deeper into
Have
the
a great
building,
stream. Bro.
Stanley realized he
Hey.
felt a bit peculiar.
Alrighty,
It was
Sheep.
a
Thanks for
stirring
coming
of
in, man.
emotion
I
in his
appreciate
chest,
it.
as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Good luck
Why
on
did
the
he
desk
feel
job
this
with
now,
chickens.
when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
At least you get to work with chickens, though.
Stanley walked
By the
straight
way.
ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. So I'm gonna do that. Escape. I'm playing this for about an hour, and then I'm gonna hop on 2K for like match requests.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible
Oh, shit.
secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I don't know. Let's find out. Alright, what are we doing?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee.
This is like
in
the
building.
This is
Stanley's co-workers.
no. What is
The
that movie
lives of
with
so
all the
many
TVs in
individuals
the
reduced to
around in the
images on a
background?
screen.
No,
And
Matrix. Yeah,
Stanley,
Neo.
one of them.
It's just like in the
eternally
Matrix
monitored in
movie.
this place where
We're living in
freedom meant nothing.
We're literally living in a simulation. Yeah, we just go through here.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
No, we couldn't have received his eyes.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Managers are getting
Controls
treated better
labeled
than
with
us?
emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Okay.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office
got no
forever,
legs.
pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Like this?
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground,
Dude, there's like a
swallowing
minute.
everyone inside, or I let it burn to
There's
a
no such
crisp.
thing as a
I have to say this, though.
nuclear
This version of
detonation
events
bomb.
has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're
controller's
going or what
vibrating.
you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of
thought we
watching a
already
cutscene because
established
I want
that.
to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then
I'm stuck here.
no ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another
It's like
choice.
World War III is about to start because Stanley had enough of being in
It's
the
all
political
same to me,
background.
all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
Oh, and there you go. The game is completely over. Oh, but wait, what? I thought I beat the game. What the hell, man?
All of his
Why am I
co-workers were
back
gone.
here?
What could it mean?
Did I
Stanley
die?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Oh
he had simply
no.
missed a memo.
No, we're gonna go different direction this time. So instead of just following the direction it's telling us,
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
nah. We're gonna keep going here.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Alright, we get to do it again.
All of his co-workers
That was the
were
secret
gone.
ending.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but
L2
you
and L1
all
are the
this
same
time.
button.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I don't have a life. I just got a work job.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
What if we don't answer it? I guess we'd have to.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. This is a very sad
Nothing really
story about the
happening.
death of a man named Stanley.
That's well, we're dead.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he
Whoa,
pushes
pause.
is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Shit.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths
I knew
and
this was the Matrix.
destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
And now we're back to the beginning. Yeah, see. So this was fascinating about this game. That's what I like about it. There is no ending. Every possible ending
All of his
results into
co-workers were
something
gone.
different.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
So
the
this time
memo.
we're gonna go like a zigzag. So we're gonna listen, and then at the same time we're not. So here's for example. We're gonna bust
When
it right
Stanley
this
came
time.
to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
And then we're gonna go
Perhaps he
bust
wanted
it
to
left.
stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
And here's this. And that led to nowhere?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
oh, even the narrator doesn't know.
From here, it's, left.
Are you sure? Okay, we'll just go that way.
Oh, no, it's to the right. My mistake.
Okay, so it's
no,
to the right.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
He has to figure out...
Let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Hopefully he's right about this.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
How long do we have left? Oh, I keep doing that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley...
Oh.
Wait, what?
No doors
No,
this time.
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
Wasn't
me.
me.
Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh, there's multiple doors.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
And there's no doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office
So
building.
multiple timelines.
Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
Let's go!
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that? You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Huh. Onward to our adventure. This is such a great game.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story is... Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
He's like, yep, we're just restart this again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Where? What direction? Oh, here?
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine. Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits. Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
The
And we're
confusion
supposed to
ending.
restart the game, what, eight times? That's
8
really
times.
how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted
Been
me?
playing for 18
Why don't
minutes.
I get to decide? Why don't I get a say
Is it
in all
really?
of
No,
this?
it's
Is it
been
really?
about 36 seconds.
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it.
I won't
do it.
I won't.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
Did we beat the game?
Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination
So
or
we're
the
like
journey.
begin
Though
following
they're
the
always
line.
saying that
and
life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Oh. Yeah, we're back.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Okay, so we're gonna go here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone
Shit.
but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
I think we're not
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
I was trying to let him land the ledge. I think we're back on to the beginning.
All of his co-workers were gone. What
Yeah,
could
see?
it mean? Stanley decided to
Yeah,
go
we're
to the
back.
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Because this is not all. This is not
When
all
Stanley
familiar.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay, we gotta go to the left.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Why does it keep closing every time I go back?
These rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Why do we keep
No,
looping?
Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming! He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What the fuck?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her
Oh,
place of work.
he just
But on this
fell.
particular day, her walk
He
was
met.
interrupted
Oh,
by the
this.
body
That's
of
where
a
Stanley
man
is
who
at
had
now.
stumbled through town
That's
talking
our
and
ending.
screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And
So
although
that's
she
what
would
happens
soon
when we go
turn to go
downstairs.
call
It's
for an
bad when
ambulance,
we
for
go
just
down.
a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This
Some
much she
trophies.
knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that
Beat the
moment,
game.
she thought to herself how lucky she
We don't have
was
that
to be
yet.
normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
So that's another ending. We came across like three or four endings. So once it hits like 5 o'clock, we're gonna go and we're gonna play 2K 25 or 4. Let's get this trophy. You have to press on the board, press on the door like 430 times. I think it's
All of his
this. Yeah,
co-workers
this
were
one.
gone. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks. No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this trophy to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way no matter the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. All right. We can do that. Here it is.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
What the fuck's 437? Oh, here.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
10 clicks.
Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Does it really want me to do the copy machine?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
I don't think we are. 47. I think this was right here. Yeah.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
What the? I can't. What? We're here. The hell?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We'll click on a door. That's what the doors, yeah, that's what the trophy is. Click on door, oh, 5 times? Oh, we gotta click on 430. Damn, I think we've messed up.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Whoa. We gotta take the elevator this time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Actually, this music is pretty soothing. So,
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
wait, what? Oh.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Not
At this
then,
point,
that's all
Stanley
it
was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh, was that it? Nope.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley. cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal
That's a
jaws.
it's a new
In a
voice.
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed
I'm
every bone in
obliterated.
his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Well, I guess we're still living.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This is too nice to be in office. I'm gonna say that. I don't think I've ever encountered this part of the game, this ending. I think we just came through here. No, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Turn off your PlayStation. There's no
I'm
other
not
way
doing
to
that.
beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
You wanted me to restart my game. That is an actual trophy that we can do. But it's gonna make us go back. Yeah, see. But what the fuck?
Even now, Stanley's office was a distant memory. What did it look like? There was a computer, perhaps, and a painting.
Where's
Was it a
430
painting
at?
or a photo? He could no longer recall.
I know I'm not tripping, but I know I've seen 430. Here.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the trophy? Click a door 5 times? Is that all you think a trophy is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks? Now, suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Alright, what's this? I guess we'll go ahead and do the...
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
That finally got on...
The
Oh,
Stanley
so yeah,
Parable
it came
Ultra
out.
Deluxe
It came out
features
PlayStation
exciting
Plus
new content that
today,
broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable,
and it came on
delighting
PlayStation
audiences
4
the world over.
or PS5 on
Please
2022.
step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Alright.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
So we're gonna do this ending, and then
Is it broken? What's going on here?
we'll go hop on WWE.
Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I'm excited for it too.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Alright.
All right.
All
right, let's see.
It says a board that says new
jump
content.
circle?
Oh, we could jump. Finally, after so long, we could jump. Oh, this is fun. I want to do it 100 more times. 1,000 more times. Oh, what? What the fuck? Damn it. Oh.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And if... oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oh, that's
you see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make it easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's trophies, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test trophy, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended. I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
I think that's it. Is that it? That's not... We're somewhere different. This...
Stanley! Come
what the
over
fuck?
here! In the vent! I want to show you something!
Yeah, no.
Oh. You don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a... oh, never mind. You're not a dog.
Let's go and check it out. Oh. What's in here?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Dude,
just
what in the
little secret.
fuck?
Take a look. I call it
this is incredible.
The Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories
Oblivion?
so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap PlayStation port? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
And the music too, yeah. I wish that we all want to go back to 2013, relive the days once
And over
again.
here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning
Oh, a
triumph of
game that
games
we don't have to get
journalism, 10
burned
out of
in the
10
candles
from Destructoid.com. James
while having to
Stephanie
touch
Sterling
them.
writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content. Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The
GameSpot.
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. All they had to do was transport it in pristine condition along to the PlayStation, boom, done. And they couldn't even do that. Couldn't resist the urge to go meddling with a beloved franchise. These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no. Oh, God, no, Stanley. It's a collection of reviews from Pressurized Gas, the extremely popular online storefront for computer games. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh, this
Honestly,
is
I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and
this is
unfunny, with
this
his
is
humor and dialogue proving to be
theme.
more irritating than entertaining.
2018.
Funny? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says.
It's from
While the idea
2016.
for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks are my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
This place is abandoned like our childhoods.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being, then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once, that you are both making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first, I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession until I become sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right. Here we go. Treatise, manifesto. 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 Treatise, Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their pressurized gas review, or at least change. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really true. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about...
He left. I don't think he's here no more. Yeah, he's dead.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a...
He just kept rambling on. That's the aspect of video games, like whatever type of content they add in the game that should have already been added.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
What the fuck? And now the whole building's abandoned. The narrator has left his job. And now we're just at a halt right now. And now life is growing. Oh, nope. What should we reach to a halt? And the skip button's knocked down. Oh, I think that's it. This is where we're at right now. Like, this feels like 100 years old. 100 years later, in the desert, nowhere to be found, in the endless, meaningless path. A journey that takes us nowhere. This is where our life begins. This is where our life is where we make choices. Right here. Alright, I think that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on WWE right now.
All of his co-workers were...
I think
Wait,
that was it.
no.
Wait,
This isn't the right office, is it?
wait,
Is
what?
this Stanley's office?
Huh?
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something
Oh.
very exciting to show you.
What the? What's next? I thought we were gonna be done. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, what? What's this?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What? The sequel?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly port with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so
I'm not
many
gonna lie, I
possibilities.
actually like
It could
the
go in
graphics
so
of
many
this.
different directions.
And how the
This
game
is
looks.
what fans have truly been asking for.
This would be a cool concept.
Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features. A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it.
Invisible,
Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort,
can hold a
even
bucket
in
in
the
our
face
hand.
of
That's actually
crushing
cool.
despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2. Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm
think we'll start at
undecided on
5:30.
Get Well Someday
Yeah.
and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I mean, it doesn't really matter to me. Can we go back? I'll just go through here. I guess we'll choose the blue one.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Oh. Okay.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Moving on indeed.
Ah, collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Hey, I got one. No, this is the game I could collect with. I could dig.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there.
Yeah.
It's future-oriented.
A free
it
what?
Screams progress
A free new
and
easy
innovation
trophy. I want to
and
get this.
long-term franchising potential. Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test trophy that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the trophy. Yes. You see, you'll come to this... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the trophy is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I can't do anything. What up, Zane? How's it going? I'm about to log on. I'm about to go on WWE in a minute. Stanley Parable. Yeah, an old classic game that came up with an Ultra Deluxe. I had no idea though that it had actual content, DLC content. So I'm like playing the new content on it. And what the narrator likes to call it, Stanley Parable 2. Sounds much fitting than just calling it Ultra Deluxe. Yeah, this trophy's broken. I might actually hop on WWE right now. Because, I mean, there is a trophy that you could just restart the game. Everything, the game itself talks about so much.
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
I think we've seen all of them. I think we've seen all of them. But the game, look, we got PC, museum, gallery. I think that's it. Or maybe not. The trophy we just went in there. I think we went into this room. I'm pretty sure.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is in fact a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right.
What? Hold on, let me get on this.
Falling.
Let me get
You
this
can
stream.
fall until the end of time if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Yeah. You can say that. Let me check the stream. I'm ripping, grinding, kicking. I know. I see you on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater right now. I see you shredding on there. Just go in this giant hole. Oh no!
You see?
Falling to our death!
One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then,
I like
since
how you
you've
come in the
gotten to
party,
see
you're just
the
like, hey, you
infinite
come in here, you say,
hole,
Stanley
you
Parable,
can press
what?
the teleport button to pop back up
I'm about to
the top,
pop on
and we can
WWE in
continue
like
onward.
10 minutes.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now. Did you really need to see it again? I don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I prepared for you. I really spent quite a lot of time on all this, and I would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll be honest with you. I truly did not believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole long enough to hit the bottom. Yes, I know. I told you the hole was infinite, but come on.
Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
Maybe.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I think it wants... No. There's nothing over here, even here, so... Go back in the hole.
Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a
Sounds like
weird
Benji.
Oh.
Oh, we're back here
Did
again.
the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
I think we're gonna do that.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
This is gonna give us a lot of stuff to do. Wait, what? Narrator sounds like the voice of Courage the Cowardly Dog's computer. It kind of does. Back in the hole we go.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep,
I'm gonna hop
even
on
by the lax overall standards for
WWE.
accountability in marketing.
What's
What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something.
Let's try
pop
something.
back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is.
Oh.
How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working?
Nope.
You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try... Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever ask for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
But I need you, narrator. I don't know. I can't do the story without you. Oh. Oh, and now our dream is becoming to a reality. We're just stuck here. Can't get out. Don't know how to get out. The world is crumbling before us. The hole is slowly going down. As we speak, we're just going... We're like going down like an elevator. We have no narrator, no plot, no story. This is our life. We're in an endless meaning every day. The thing is like going down as we stare up into the abyss and think about how we've made our choices. Change your perspective. Alright, we'll do that. I'm literally changing my perspective. What the fuck is this? That's like an introduction to a video game. A very seriously, like, action game. I can't do anything else but look at myself. Perception. My background? What, the music background? What the fuck is this? This is our... What the fuck? We're stuck in this endless loop. What is going on? We can make the game. What the fuck? Puppies? What the fuck is that?
Stanley? Stanley!
Huh?
Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Wait a minute. This is the... We didn't agree upon this. Wait. I'm not supposed to be down here. I'm supposed to... What? Huh? What's going on here? Okay. I'm just gonna continue on. We'll continue on later for Stanley Parable 2. We'll play this a little later. I want to hop on WWE and play some match requests. So I'm gonna hop on WWE. So we'll play this another time. So for the meantime, if you're watching this still, I'll be right back. I'm gonna hop on WWE for some match requests. So, all right, catch you later. I'll be right back.